Good afternoon and welcome to your Explore Learning Gizmos training. My name is Katherine and I've been with Explore Learning for 5 years now. Before that, I was a teacher for 20 years. I taught 4th and 5th graders math, science, and reading. And as a classroom teacher, I used Gizmos because it brought to life those difficult concepts in math and science. And in the process, I made learning fun. An overview now of Gizmos would be that Gizmos are online simulations for both math and science for grades 3 through 12. And before we unpack all of your Gizmo training, I want to show you a Gizmo in action. So let's take a look right over here. This one is one that I've shown in my classroom. There are over 500 to choose from. And this is one that I did use. It's called Growing Plants. And as you can see, you're going to be doing investigations with your students on growing your plants. You'll be able to choose from tomatoes, beans, or turnips, also fertilizer or compost. Also, you have 3 experiment windows here. You have A, B, and C, where you have your pot. You have rulers in each pot so that you can measure the growth of the plant. You have your water, and you can adjust the level of your water. You also have light, so that you can use different amounts of light with each plant. Okay, very good. Another thing, the dashboard. You have the number of days of the experiment. It goes all the way up to 50 days. You have your play, or your start, stop, reset, and then also clear the pots. And then in just a few minutes, we also have experiment, and we have data up here, and I will show you how the data is. Also, if you look up at the corner, you will see a camera. And this is a really cool thing that they have. The students can take a picture of the experiment when they get it finished, and they can. It's a way that they can show proof for what they did. And then also you can use the snapshots yourself. You can put it on Word and use it for a test. You'll have the picture to use for testing. And another thing that's so great about the Gizmos is that you are able to introduce vocabulary to them. For example, words like fertilizer and compost, variables, hypothesis, so many. Mass also is another one, a vocabulary word that students need to learn. Okay, so now we're going to begin. So I've got my helper over here that's going to work this for me. We're going to choose the bean seed. We're going to put those in. Then we're going to put in fertilizer. And you'll ask your students what they want to put in, and you'll let them choose. They'll have fun doing that. And then let's put in compost. And we'll be talking to the students about what compost is, what fertilizer is. Very good. And then we'll be talking to them about how all of the variables need to be the same except for one. So we want to make sure that the water is the same. Everything in the pot is the same. And before we start, I would even ask them the question. For example, I might say, how does light affect the growth of a plant? And so I would want all my variables to be the same except light. And so in the first one, we would just turn out all the lights. There we go. And the second one, let's turn out 1 light, so we'll have 2 on. And the last one, we'll leave 3 lights. And then we would just ask our students for their hypothesis as to which one is going to grow the tallest. And of course, most of them might say, well, that last one because it has more light. So we'll see. We will start and we'll watch the days. And there they're going. In a moment, you'll start seeing there they go. And about day 26, we're going to stop it so we can take a look at the data. Stop right there. Very good. All right, so far, we can look over here in the dark, and it looks like this one has a height 31. And then look at these. 29 with the 2 lights, 23.7 with the 3 lights. So it looks like maybe their hypothesis was not correct. So let's look at the data. Okay, and there's different ways that we can show our data. We can show it with a bar graph. We can also show it with a line graph. And it shows plant height or plant mass. And let's go back to bar graph, and let's go to plant height. And we can look here. Uh-oh, pot A. It's in the dark, but it is the tallest. And this might be a good time. Oh, well, we can take a picture of it as well, so that we remember what it was at day 26. Very good. All right. Okay, then we have a lot of data over here about the plant height as well in centimeters. And then here we have the information of what we had in each pot. Okay, and also how many lights. So it's all right there for us. And at this point, we could even, depending on what grade you're teaching, talk to them about the rainforest effect and the canopy effect, and how the plants, even though it's dark, grow very, very tall to try to reach the light. But you can see it's very skinny. The others have more mass and look much healthier. But it's very skinny, but it is very tall at first. But let's see what happens. Let's just keep going now. Let's push it. Oh, okay, there we go. And we're going to go all the way to day 50 and see if our hypothesis was correct. And we have, okay, let's go to the data. Oh, so which one was the best? It wasn't the last one. It was pot B, and we would discuss at that time, what was it about that pot that made that one grow taller? And the thing that is so neat about this is like an actual experiment, and they can do it over and over and over, and the numbers are not always going to be exactly the same.